Welcome to the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. They tried to cover it all up. Nolan Wells wasn't supposed to even go out there with them because Bart said that he wasn't going to even be out there for their party that they was having. Now, when the feds kicked in, the feds actually said something that actually made everybody look at it from a whole different perspective. Hit the like button if you're a fan of Nolan Wells. Hit the like button because what the feds said, y'all gonna want to hear this. They acting like every piece of evidence that they brought in was gonna solve the case. They thought this from the beginning, but what a big turnaround. RIP to Nolan Wells. And I would like everybody who actually is tuning in to this case to hit the like button and share this video. They tried to make it over a race thing. Even Nolan friends start saying, oh, he never does things like this. He never do that. And then Katie telling one story. Nolan homie, Jovan, whatever his name is, he's telling a whole different story. Now, from the outside looking in, we see exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it seem like it's a thing with race, with this white guy and this black guy, when it has nothing to do with the race. What it has something to do with is the 4th of July, they were drunk, they were under 21. Whoever brought that liquor for them should be the ones charged for it, because whatever they did after they drunk that liquor, it goes right back on the person who's the chaperone of the whole situation. Now, everybody knows Nolan Wells' case has been heating up everywhere. Every social media outlet, including every blogger, is talking about this. It's some to this. It feels like the Kanika Jenkins case, but it's kind of a twist to it because they was on a boat. And then it's Coast Guards involved, it's fathers and mothers involved, and everybody act like they not a witness when they clearly was right there with him, but nobody knows what happened. It's no inconsistencies with what Nolan was doing. He went out there on time. He talked to his mother on time. He let his mother know where he was. For his family to say that he was with his friends, but his friends bring the cell phone home, and I know y'all already done heard this. His friend bring the cell phone home, but they don't know what happened to him. So you mean to tell me his cell phone was just laying in one spot, but his body disappeared? So you mean to tell me that his family is just gonna listen to what you guys say coming to the door, and they're gonna just go off every single word that y'all say? Y'all did wrong. Y'all messed up big time. Y'all knew that y'all was gonna eventually get caught up in y'all lie. Y'all ain't get caught for the crime. Nobody's been charged yet. Nobody has been charged at all. But for anybody to go out there and say that Nolan Wells didn't know what he was doing, he knew exactly what he was doing. He trusted these people, and he felt that these people was gonna keep an eye on him while he was drunk. These were 18-year-old kids drinking, and they don't even supposed to be able to buy liquor until they 21 years old. Who bought the liquor? Who bought the liquor? Because the coach act like it was all Nolan's fault, and then turn around, Detective Tatum, he acting like he working with Bart and the rest of them. He acting like he's on the same team with the people who did that to Nolan. If they even did that to Nolan, I don't think that they had nothing to do with what happened to him. I feel that they saw what happened, and by whatever went down with Nolan, they saw that it was somebody who they knew did it. That's why they being quiet and not saying nothing. And this is the main reason why this case seemed like it'll never be solved, and it seems like a jigsaw puzzle. Nolan Wells was out there with his people. He knew them for a long time. They went to school together. They was on the same basketball. They was on the same football team. We know this. We know exactly what went down, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. Whichever one of their friends did that to Nolan, Bart, Warren, Katie, they saw it, because them the three people who names steady floating around. But the other dudes that was around, ain't no telling if they got the word from Bart or either one of those dudes, and they said, okay, we're going to start something with him since he want to like on Katie, since he like Katie, since he want to date Katie, since he want to stay back on the island with Katie, we're going to start something with him. You know how it is when people start stuff. People will be the biggest instigators in the world, and next thing you know, one thing that they do is go out there and they sit there and they throw rocks at there, had their hand. Man, RIP to Nolan Wells, and I want y'all to hit the like button if you a fan of Nolan Wells. That's crazy. It's sad how they did it, but we got the footage from off the boat. We got the footage of them standing right there with the boat. Remember, it was sinking from the dispatch. When that boat was sinking, they was recording on the other boats to make sure that they have a paper trail in case something happened to that boat. They gotta actually gotta file a claim for insurance for that boat. So y'all gotta look at the bigger picture. They making it seem like it's over Nolan being black and Bart being white and all this stuff. No. Nolan's parents said that it had to been somebody besides, excluding Bart, Katie, and William. It had to been somebody else besides those people who did it, because they keeping their mouth closed. They not saying nothing. They see everything. They not saying nothing at all. And for them to not say nothing, knowing that that boy lost his life, we already know what they on. We know what they did. They covered it up because another person who they knew did it. Nobody cares because y'all got money. Nobody cares because this person's mother is a judge and this person's father is a lawyer and we own 3 boats over here and this person over there, they can come on our boat, but you can't. Man, come on, at the end of the day, we know for a fact what happened if we really put our mind to it. From the evidence that came out, all the evidence points right back to the friends. It don't point back to nobody else, but for them to get that toxicology report and that autopsy back and y'all already know what was missing, for them to have all that missing and Nolan had a bruise, a red bruise that would not go away on the back of his head. So y'all caught him off guard. Y'all hit Nolan up. Why would y'all do that to that boy? Why would y'all sit there and put yourself in the predicament? Now look what they doing. They coming back on y'all. Everything that y'all did on that boat, underage. When I say underage, I mean under 21, because y'all knew exactly what y'all was doing. Y'all was drinking. Y'all was drinking. Why was y'all out there drinking? Once you explain who bought the liquor and the reason for y'all out there drinking, it doesn't matter if it's a 4th of July or a celebration or anything. You shouldn't have been out there drinking at that young age. And this is not just for Nolan. This is for the whole crew. Y'all supposed to have been somewhere in school studying, or y'all supposed to have been somewhere getting prepared for school to start back. Like, come on now, man. Y'all doing too much. At the end of the day, we know exactly, like, what's really going on. They trying to cover something up. Either they trying to cover up that the friends had something to do with it, or they trying to cover up that the friends saw the person that did it. And now, look what's happening. Look what's coming out. We see how they flipping it all around. It's over with for them, boy. But we know that they're going to eventually come out with the evidence and the proper things that they need to actually not convict nobody, y'all. To actually get justice and find the clues and the evidence to be able to tie everything back to the time stamps that they gave, because they can catch them up in the lie.
Who did Nolan tell Warren was his best friend? Who did Nolan ever tell Tristan was his best friend? I'm not going to question Javon, because he's a brother. And I do believe that there's a strong chance that they may have been best friends. And I say that not only because Javon is a brother, Art, but I also felt that Javon, through the investigation team and alley-oop, with some of the answers that he gave on TMZ. Some of Javon's answers, in my opinion, kind of made it clear to me he actually cared about Nolan. He actually cared about Nolan. I believe Javon actually cared about Nolan. And because of that, I'm willing to say that Javon may have actually been Nolan's best friend. I wish somebody would have asked Javon, Art, to your knowledge, has Nolan ever called Warren his best friend? Has Nolan ever called Tristan his best friend? To your knowledge, Javon, has Nolan ever told you that Warren and Tristan were best friends of his? Because, Art, I'm having a problem with this three best friend narrative. Okay? I used to be 18 years old. You might have one best friend. You may have two. Don't get me wrong. If you all hang in a pack, you could have 3 best friends. But according to Javon's own words, Art, he didn't really hang around with them other guys too much. That's what I allegedly thought I heard him say. He didn't hang around with them guys too much. So if you got 2 or 3 or 4 best friends, you guys normally travel as a group. Javon seemed like he kind of spent most of his time with Nolan alone, just the 2 of them, not with Tristan and Warren. Although he knew them, it didn't appear that he hung out with them on the regular. So how could they all then be best friends? It's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying it's unlikely. So, according to Javon, Art, he saw Nolan at 3:40 on the island. According to Javon, what I heard him say to TMZ allegedly was that he had another friend who was involved in an altercation and that he left Nolan at about 3:40 to go check on his buddy, because according to Javon, his buddy was on another ship, and the parents of whomever on this other ship were trying to get him off the island because he was crashing out. He never said who this friend was. He never exactly told us what happened, but he said, I left at 3:40 to go check on my friend on another boat because, quote unquote, well, these are not his words, I'm paraphrasing, he was kind of wilding out, crashing out, and he needed to help calm him down. I'm paraphrasing. He said when he got back, Nolan was nowhere to be found, and I'm paraphrasing. And Nolan's boat that he came on, Warren's boat, the so-called Big Daddy, the 22-foot Triton, had already left the scene. So according to Javon, I left Nolan at 3:40 to go deal with another situation. I came back, he was gone. According to Katie, the white girl who Nolan's white best friends are trying to use as an alibi in this situation,